Stay tuned, everybody, because it's time for the Playin on Music Row podcast with your host, Fran. Heard each week on this station. And now, here's Fran.
Well, thank you. Today we have a really interesting guest, and his name is Johnny Ramos, and he's going to be playing on Music Row with us today, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time, Johnny. I know you're so busy, and I appreciate you speaking with us today.
Thank you, Fran. Thank you for having me. Good to be here.
You're quite welcome. Well, I know this show is really going to be about you. I mean, that's what it's about. It's all about Johnny. But I want to start off just by mentioning that your dad, who's very well known in the blues field, that's Kid Ramos, and I'm sure he influenced you. Can you maybe give us a little idea of how that all came about? How you got interested in the music business?
Yeah. My dad is a blues guitar player, producer, songwriter, and I've grown up. I remember being a little kid watching him on the side of the stage at shows and festivals, and just amazed by what he was doing, just communicating to the audience through music. And I grew up listening to old records. He's got a really cool record collection, and I took piano lessons when I was a little kid. And he never really pushed me into doing music, which was like is like such a real realization for me to fall in love with music, because I was always around it, but he never made me become a musician. And he jokes about it too. He's like, "Oh, I never would have put this on you, man. This is this life or whatever." But yeah, Kid Ramos, my dad is a big influence on me.
Okay, yeah. Let me ask you this. When did you first begin writing songs?
I remember when I was like 6 years old, I didn't even know how to play anything. I didn't start taking like piano lessons until I was maybe 12 years old, 11 years old. But I remember being a little kid, and we had a piano in the house, and my older brother, Anthony, he played piano growing up. And I remember like not knowing how to play anything, but just banging on the piano and just making stuff up and trying to sing. And I always wanted to make things up, even when I didn't know how to play music. I just always had an interest in creating and making things up. And I had like imaginary friends, and I'd make up little stories and stuff with my brother, and little skits and stuff. And we were just my brother and I were always trying to make things up. And I think that's what started my love of songwriting, even though I didn't even really know it was songwriting, when I was a little kid.
So is your brother involved in your career at all, or?
No, not really, but he's a profound influence on me, actually, musically. He's like a heavy metal guitar player. He doesn't really play anymore. He used to have some bands in high school and stuff. But when I was a little kid, I like idolized my big brother. I like really looked up to him. And I think I kind of fell in love with like the music that he showed me, like the heavy metal and punk rock and all this stuff, grunge. I kind of fell in love with that stuff before I fell in love with rockabilly and blues and like R&B and old soul music and stuff. I was really into whatever my brother was into first. So he's a big influence on me too.
Okay. Well, we have a video which is of yours, "I Like You," and you also have another song, a new release, which is called "I Want a Girl." Can you give us a little bit of a background on those songs? Because we're going to play the one video.
Yeah. "I Like You" is it's like a really stripped down soul song, and there's barely any instrumentation on it. I wanted it to be like a really raw recording, so it's pretty much just acoustic guitar and an electric bass, and there's like a little electric guitar in there. And I sing in English on it, but I also sing Spanish on it because I have a big influence from my Mexican heritage as a Mexican American. And "I Want a Girl" is a new song that I have out, and it's just a really fun song. It's a really it's really rock and roll. There's a lot of heavy electric guitar on it, but it's kind of country. I think it's the most country song I think I've probably written. And yeah, I'm excited to show it to everybody.
Okay. Yeah, well, let's take a listen to I Like You.
What if I
Johnny
said I wanted to get to know you better? What if I said, how is the weather? What if I said these words aloud? 'Cause in my head, what if I said words are a dread? I want you in my bed, 'cause I like you. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause I want you. Oh no, yeah. Skipping forward, it's a new bird that won't get me got. Put me on pause, fix that clause with a clever line. 'Cause sometimes I say what's on my mind, and life don't always work that way. Still winds up saying what you say. Don't let your feelings be restrained, 'cause I like you. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause I want you. Oh no, yeah. Sé que estás soñando conmigo. Por favor, baby, no quiero ser un amigo, but to corner, wanna know ya. Send your love in my way. Dime un cosa, 'cause I'm dying to know ya. 'Cause I like you. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause I want you. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause I like you. Oh no, yeah. 'Cause I want you. Oh no, yeah.
Well, excellent. That's really, really cool. Let me ask you this. Where do you find you get your ideas for your songs?
I listen to a lot of music. Oh my gosh, I'm just influenced by everything. I listen to so many different genres of music, and I jam a lot with a lot of my friends that are musicians. I go to college, and I studied music for a while. I'm studying film and some other things now, but I have a bunch of friends in the music department at school, and I jam with them a lot, and I come up with a lot of ideas at gigs sometimes, because sometimes I do gigs where I'm playing for like 4 hours. Like we do a bunch of prom gigs right now, my band, and some of them are just so long, and we're just always improvising and jamming, and I'm just kind of influenced by everything. I mean, I'm always writing stuff down on my phone. I'm like constantly writing notes. I have like just thousands of notes on my phone from everything. Like sometimes I'll come up with like the name of a song, and then I'll be like, okay, now let me write a song to go with this name just because the name sounds, interesting or whatever. So I'm just inspired by everything.
Okay. Well, that's kind of like I have an artist who's been around a long time, and he's been played in Vegas and everything. But what he used to do is he used to get up on the stage, somebody'd say something, he'd write the song right there on stage.
Oh wow, that sounds pretty cool.
Because he kept the idea, and he would record it, and then he would fix it up. I know you mentioned all these different genres of music. How would you describe your sound?
I'd say in the end, my music is rock and roll. I'd just say it's rock and roll. Because rock and roll can mean so many different things. And I mean, I'm influenced by like, I mean, I was younger and I was a teenager. I was just inspired by a lot of punk rock and heavy metal. And then, I fell in love with blues and R&B and a lot of the raw music of the 1950s and 1960s. And I think in the end, I just kind of tried to put together everything that I like. And I'd say in the end, it's just rock and roll in general, because rock and roll is an idea, and it can take on, the meanings of many different things.
And it never died.
No. It's alive and well. Rock and roll is live.
Yeah, actually, if you may want to think about, if you're like into that rock and roll kind of sound, there's an outlaw country that would work. You fit into that kind of genre too. I don't know if you ever heard that or not. But
I have. Yeah. That would be cool. That would definitely be cool.
Well, you are talking about rock and roll here. You have a song, Slasher Susie, which is really cool, and that was released too, I guess, at one point in time, right? You released that?
Yeah.
And so we're gonna play that, but maybe can you give us a little background on Slasher Susie before we play
Slasher
it?
Susie is that it's really funny coming out of what we were just talking about, because Slasher Susie is like a song where I just kind of thought of the name of it, and then I wanted to write a song to go with the name, because I love old horror movies and 80s slasher movies, like really cheap, cheesy, scary movies, slasher films. So I was like, slasher, like I wanted to like write a stereotypical kind of 1950s song about like a girl with a girl's name in it. I'm like, what's a great like 50s, stereotypical 50s name? Susie, Slasher Susie. And then I wanted it to be kind of a 50s sounding kind of song. So the chord progression is like a doo-wop kind of chord progression. But then I'd put some kind of, some weird edgy guitar effects and stuff. And there's a lot of weird guitar things on here. So yeah, Slasher Susie.
Yeah, it's really cool. Let's take a listen to it.
Susie. Broke my heart and made me cry. Get you back at the sanitarium, and we'll have a wonderful time. Slash and Susie, a juvenile screaming queen. She's straight out of a Pulp magazine. You know just what I need. Yeah. Slash and Susie, always up to no good. I'll leave it, you think that I should. I did only what I could, yeah. Slash and Susie, slash and Susie, my baby.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, who's involved with your videos and your production of them? So
The I Like You music video, it was a friend of mine, Hannah Levin. She worked on another music video with me a long time ago, and she's a film student at Cal State Long Beach, and she's really good, and she makes short films and stuff. She's really cool. And then my parents actually helped me film the Slasher Susie video, because I think it was like, actually no, it was before COVID. I couldn't find anybody to work on the thing with me, and my parents really helped me out, and they helped film it. And my friend Wyatt Martin edited the music video, and I got some music videos in the works right now. Actually, I have for a song that I released a while ago during COVID called "Broke But Happy." I have a music video that I filmed with a professional videographer guy that films like UFC fights and stuff. Like, he has like this crazy expensive camera, and he's really good at what he does. And it was hard to find time to work on it because he's a professional guy. But that'll be out really soon too.
cool. Well, talking about professional cameras and stuff, I know you've done some acting. You did a little bit of acting. Can you give us a little bit of idea of some of the acting you did previously?
Yes. When I was a teenager, I was on Nickelodeon on Salmon Cat, which was like this spin-off of a show called Victorious, and Ariana Grande was on both of these shows. She was the lead on Salmon Cat, and Jeanette McCurdy, who just published a book that's like a best-selling book about her childhood. It's called "I'm Glad My Mother Died." It's a really intense book. She had a really hard upbringing as a child actor. And I got to talk to her and Ariana Grande when I was like a teenager on set, because I got to play a hair model for this episode of the show. It was really funny, you know. It was a kid show, and it was really pretty out there and comical. And I was one of the only like other actors on set, so I got to talk to them a little bit and everything, and they were really nice to me. And I took a selfie with Ariana Grande, and she was just really nice. And I did a thing on Blackish with Anthony Anderson. That was really fun. I did that I think I was like 16 years old when I did that. I had really long hair at the time and I looked really different. But more recently I've done a few commercials and stuff, and I got a new manager who's really encouraged me to study acting more and really get back into acting, because I kind of took a break from it for a while. And I've been auditioning and studying and taking classes and really trying to get better at acting. It's a really complicated craft for me personally. It's very different from music. Music comes more naturally to me, but I think that's why I'm so interested in acting, because it's like I want to explore it. It's like an uncharted territory for me. And very recently, I was on the second season of Euphoria as a mariachi singer, and that was a really fun job. And the director Sam Levinson got to direct us. He's a really interesting guy. He's like in this black trench coat, and it's like this guy's the director and everything. Yeah. But he was really nice to us, and I got to have my band on there, and they put me on like a Euphoria fan page, even though like I'm in the episode for like not very long. I'm like on a Euphoria fan page thing. It's really weird, yeah. But that's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, but you're a star. I mean, that's it. That's why they up me. Okay, want to promote you. Well, I'm talking about that kind of thing. I hear you've done some kind of producing too. You produce other acts too. You do a lot in the different industries. So who have you produced? And
very recently, I got into producing. I studied recording technology for a while in school and college, and got to record some my friends and some bands at school and stuff. And then I got this call from my manager now, Ivy Lundy, and she's a really cool woman. She helped coordinate this to get this going, and she's just really nice and really encouraging and optimistic and everything, and I appreciate her working with me. But she called me before I started getting managed by her with my acting, to produce this band that she manages called the Wong Quadruplets. They're quadruplets, so there's 4 of them, and they're twins. Okay. And they're really young. I think they just turned 13, but they're like really young and they're really talented. And there's a guitar player, a piano player, drummer, and the girl is really great singer. She's like the front woman, and she plays bass and sings. Okay. And they wanted me to produce this song for them called Hummingbird. And I got to play some guitar on it and produce it, and I'm really excited for them. They're really talented, and I was really happy to work with them. And another project that I did a little bit after that was I got to work with this band called TI-85, which is like a pop punk band. They're all teenagers. They're really young, and they're really talented too. And they have a harder, kind of edgier rock and roll kind of punkish sound. And I got to produce this EP that they did called So Far So Good. So look that up, TI-85, So Far So Good. Really good songwriting on their part.
Well, cool. Let me ask you this question. I'm talking about promotions of who were some of the players on your promotion team?
Well, Ivy Lundy has really helped me, my manager, with recently with the coordinating stuff with radio and getting some interviews and stuff. And a guy that I'm working with right now that also helped get the ball rolling on this is Caden Gordon. Really cool dude that does promotions, and he has a radio show, and he's a talented radio DJ, and he's a young guy too, and he's going to college, and it's encouraging to be working with other young people that aren't going into school but also working on the art and music, and it's encouraging to meet other people like that. So shout out to Caden Gordon.
Okay. Well, yes, I know Caden. He's a good guy. What are some of the gigs that you've performed at?
Recently, just last weekend, actually, I played at Viva Las Vegas, which is in Las Vegas, and it's a big rockabilly festival show in the Orleans Hotel and Casino, and it's just crazy, man. I've played it a couple of times, but I haven't been there since before COVID. So it was really cool to be back at Viva, and it's just really fun because it's just everybody's into what's happening there. Everybody that's there is like a rockabilly. We're all into the same music and the clothes, the fashion, the style, the culture. It's really fun. And then a few days from now, this Saturday, I'm going to be playing. It's called Cinco Billy. It's another rockabilly festival in Norco. That's going to be really cool. I'm going to go on at 1:00 this Saturday. And a while ago, I did some stuff. I opened for James Infeld a while back, who's a really, really amazing songwriter in the rockabilly scene and Americana scene that I really am influenced by. And Big Sandy, did a show with him a while back. And at one point I did a thing where I opened for Cesar Rosas of Los Lobos, which was really cool. Yes. And I got to do a thing for Valentine's Day a while back where I was opening for Los Tex Maniacs. They're a Grammy winning band, a Tejano band, Tex-Mex band, and they're really nice guys, Los Tex Maniacs. Ooh. And got a lot of shows coming up. So go to johnnyramos.net. Got some shows on there.
Good. So you'll be touring and performing in support of your releases now?
Yes, definitely. I'm planning on releasing an album very soon too, this summer.
Okay. Yeah. Let me ask you, which is an important question, and that is, how can the listening audience find out about what you've been doing to learn more about Johnny Ramos?
Yeah, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is not Johnny Ramos, but I really am Johnny Ramos. So look up Not Johnny Ramos on Instagram, and look up my website, johnnyramos.net, and my Facebook, Johnny James Ramos. And that's everything. And look me up on Spotify, Apple Music, and there's a lot of stuff coming out very soon.
Okay. Well, I've asked you a lot of questions, but is there something that I haven't asked you, maybe that you want to say to the listening audience?
No, I think you asked some really interesting questions, and hopefully I didn't talk too much. I kind of I have ADHD. I'm kind of focusing on a bunch of things at the same time, or not focusing. But I had really a lot of fun. Fran, thank you for having me on here. Really good time.
Well, I want to thank you so much, and the Nashville Broadcasting Network really thanks you for being part of it and taking time out of your busy day to do the interview. So I thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right.
It's a very fun time.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, hold on a second here, and we'll go in a second here. We're going to end recording.